the startup format, which is currently System Gateway, System Update, and the newest cycle, which is the Boreal cycle. But today, I decided, since I'm running late anyway, today I just want to dedicate to the basics of Netrunner to kind of explain it for those of you who don't know anything about the game. So, um, so today I just want to play a demo game to sort of show how the game works. To SJ, because I know SJ is probably not familiar with this game, and I know there might be a few more people watching that aren't really familiar with Netrunner. So today I'm just gonna play a demo game with Moto to sort of show how the game works. So we'll be playing starter decks. In Jinteki, they give you Jinteki.net, which is the main Netrunner simulator. They give you the System Gateway starter decks, just for having an account. So it should it makes the purpose of demo games really easy to do. I'm gonna play Corp Side mostly to explain Corp Side stuff about the game structure to SJ. And to anybody else who's watching who is not really familiar with this game, because this is a kind of difficult game to sort of get your head around. So, so I'm gonna play Corp Side just to help explain like some of the things about how this game works. I'll have Moto play the runner starter deck. This one. Moto, if you want to, I will make a room here. New game. Side Corp format. System Gateway, because we're playing the starter decks. And we're gonna enter a password. I'm gonna do the good old standard password of Among Us. I got a room up, Moto, if you want to join it. Password Among Us. Alright. Alright. Moto says he's muting the stream because that's a very important part of this game, because this is an asymmetrical game with some hidden information, which I will explain in a minute because I'm the one playing Corporation. Okay, so at the start you draw a hand of 5 cards and you choose if you want to keep your hand or mulligan. You get 1 mulligan. Now, the Corporation always goes first. And generally speaking, when we're looking at a hand of cards, we're looking for cards that make us credits, which is our primary resource system is money or credits. And we're looking for stuff that makes econ in our hand. This isn't a great starting hand because it's all ice, which is used to protect our servers, and 1 agenda, and no what are called econ cards or money cards that help us make money. So I'm gonna mulligan his hand because I don't see any econ. This hand isn't much better, but we have to take it. But it's okay if we don't open any econ because there are recourses with the basic game actions. So, at the start of the game, the Corporation always takes the first turn. When the corporation takes their turn, they have a mandatory draw. This you cannot avoid this draw. However, you then get what are called free clicks. Clicks is an action economy. This game has an action economy. You only have so many actions you can take in a turn before your turn ends. For the corporation, you get free clicks, and the runner gets 4 clicks. However, the runner gets 4 clicks, but the runner does not draw for turn. They have to use a click to draw a card, unless they have a card that they can play that draws cards. Only the corporation draws for the start of turn. Now, there's a couple of, there's also, in addition to playing cards, you can also use clicks to do basic actions. There are a list of basic actions. They differ between corp and runner side. The ubiquitous ones is you can spend a click to draw a card or gain 1 credit. This is called clicking for cards or clicking for credits. Another action with clicks that you can do, basic action with clicks, is the corp can do something called purge virus counters. This requires all 3 of your clicks unless you manage to gain more clicks, because there are cards that give you more clicks. Is that you can spend free clicks to purge virus counters, meaning if the runner has any programs installed that have virus counters, like viruses, it wipes them. Another action you can take with clicks is called is more runner side stuff, like tags, removing tags, which cost a click and 2 credits. But I don't know if the starter decks have anything that tag the runner. So that's more of an important thing for later. And there's also a couple of other specific actions. Like, if the runner is tagged, I can spend a click to trash one of the, and spend 2 credits to trash one of the runner's installed program, but that's only if the runner is tagged. But anyway, the basic actions: draw a card, gain credits. The basic ones you gotta keep in mind for now. You also need to spend a click generally to play any card. ICE is what you install to protect your servers. Operations just do their effect and then are discarded. They're like casting a spell card in Yu-Gi-Oh! ICE you install to protect your servers. Your servers is archives, which represents your discard pile. R&D, which represents your deck, and HQ, which represents your hand. The runner can make runs against these servers, meaning if the runner makes a run on HQ, and the run is successful, they get to access my hand of cards. They get to access a random card out of my hand. And if it has a trash cost, they can trash it. Or if it's an agenda, they can steal it and score points. So, and same thing happens on R&D. They get to access the top card of R&D or more cards off the top of R&D if they have multi-access. But for now, what we're going to do is we're just going to, we don't have any assets or agendas, so we have agendas. So what we can do is we're going to install this agenda as a new remote server. It'll become server 1. Cards are installed as a corporation face down until they are rezzed, if they're an asset or a piece of ice, or asset upgrade or a piece of ice, or scored if they're an agenda. And agendas must be advanced to be scored. And advancing costs a click and a credit. And in the case of Superconducting Hub, it can only be scored if it's been advanced 3 times. And keep in mind, I only have 2 clicks left, so I cannot score it this turn. Unless I have a way of gaining more clicks. Seamless launches an operation that says I can place 2 advancement counters on 1 installed card that I did not install this turn, but I have to wait a turn for that. So I think the best course of actions, we're just going to install a piece of ice, white space, a code gate, a small piece of ice protecting server 1. And we're going to install a piece of ice on R&D. Since we don't got many credits, I want it to be cheap. So, since we don't got much econ right now. So, we'll just say go here. So, when the runner can take a couple of basic actions, they're gonna play the card Jailbreak, which is an event. Events are operations, but for runner side. This one has the runner do what's called making a run. When a run is made, they run against the HQ. They run against the server. If there were ice here, I could choose to res the ice, and then they would encounter that ice. I'll explain how that works when they actually encounter a piece of ice. So, because there's no ice protecting server, they access the server. So I clone no further action, they access the server. Jailbreak says if the run is successful, they get to access an additional card, so they get to access two random cards from my hand. They were able to access my agenda and score my agenda, so they have now have one agenda point. Now, resources are uh, are um, are like various things that can generate money or cards or other things for the runner, but they're not the big thing. Programs are the main thing way runners deal with ice, right? Specifically, Carmen is a program that's called an icebreaker, which is how you interact with ice. Um, Programs cost what is called a memory unit or MU to install. It has an install cost in credits, but there's also MU. Most runner IDs or identity cards, these are what represent your character in the game. Normally, IDs have abilities on them, but the starter deck ones don't. That also determine how much influence you can spend and how much your main deck size is. Um, all the base most identities have 4 MUs to start off with. So Karma costs 1 MU, so the runner can only install 3 more programs unless they have a piece of hardware or a resource that gives them more memory units. So I will start my turn. They have an icebreaker installed. Specifically, Carmen is what's called a killer. These icebreakers generally interact with Sentry Ice, and currently I have a code gate and a have code gates installed, which Carmen can't actually interact with because it's a killer. It's not a decoder. Killers interact with sentries. Decoders interact with code gates, and fractors interact with barriers. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. I need to take that back. How do I take back? Oh yeah, I have to. Yeah. Yeah. So we drew. We're gonna spend a click to draw here. Fantastic. We're going to. We drew into econ. So we are going to install this on a new remote, and then we're going to install a piece of ice to protect it. We're not gonna, because we can't, we could advance our thing, but we want to make some money so we can actually res defenses rather than try to advance an agenda we can't actually score this turn. So we're going to install an ice on server 2 and end our turn. Currently, we have a barrier encoded gates, so currently they do not have a breaker that can interact with our ice. They're gonna install Smart Wave Distributor, which click gain free on the place free on this list where you gain 1 from the resource. So it's an econ card that slowly ramps you into some credits. No, go ahead and access. Neither of these are trashable, so I don't care. Okay, in this case, we drew an interesting card. We're gonna spend a click and a credit to play Seamless Launch on server 1. To place 2 agenda counters on this card. And we're gonna click to advance it, which also costs a click and a credit. It costs clicking a credit. And then we're gonna score this agenda. And draw 2 cards. For successfully scoring Superconducting Hub. And our last action is we're going to ice HQ because the rudder's been sort of hitting it a lot. So we should probably ice HQ at this point now that we can't have enough word of place to do so. Okay, so trying to look. They took some credits off of Smartware. They used the basic action to draw a card. So with their third click, they used Telework contract to gain 3 more dollars, and then they spend the click to tread lightly on this server. Because of tread lightly, the tread lightly matters less because I couldn't res brand in the first place, so I have to let them through. However, thankfully, there's only an asset there, which honestly, it would make me money, but the thing is, it'll cost you to trash, which I'm okay with losing this asset if it's costing the runner 2 credits. Because it's not like I spent it's not like I had spent 2 to res it, so I'm actually not losing anything by just letting the runner in. You have to know when not to res stuff and when not to. When to install something just to get the runner to waste money. We do need to find some econ soon, so I'm gonna click the draw. I'm gonna click the draw. Ooh, we found hedge fund. That's exactly what I wanted. We have to click twice because we need 5 to play hedge fund. So I'm just gonna click twice and end my turn. If they force me to res, they force me to res. It's bad because we have 2 agendas in hand and no real way to get rid of them. So but we have enough to res HQ if we need to. Given how many agendas are in my hand, I'm actually comfortable with letting them through to have 1 access on R&D. I'm not gonna spend the money. I'm okay with them accessing off the top of R&D because the chances, with how many agendas are in my hand, like the chances of it being agenda off the top of 1 access is pretty low. For our first click, we're gonna obviously click our use our hedge fund here to gain a couple credits. You need 5 to play hedge fund, and it makes you like 4 credits because you get your money back and you make them net of 4 credits because it's spend 5, gain 9. And then we're gonna click for another credit, and then we're gonna play government subsidy, which requires 10 and it's gain 15. So it gains you another 5. So I'm in no rush to score an agenda right now. I just want a money up because I'm not like in a rush to score an agenda right now. I just want a money up. This is really bad because they just installed the fractor. Now, the thing is that Cleaver, which is another icebreaker they installed for 1 MU, so they have 2 MU left. It's a fractor and it can interact with barriers. And it starts at 3 strength and can be pumped for 2 for 1 strength. However, Palisade is only 2 strength, so it can already be broken with Cleaver. And Cleaver breaks 2 subroutines for only a single credit, meaning it only costs Cleaver a single credit to break Palisade, so it is not worth resing. I think I let them through and let them have 1 shot at an agenda, and I just gotta pray they don't hit 1. Thank God they did not find an agenda. They did not. Their 1 random access did not get them an agenda. I think we gotta ice up HQ a little more heavily. We gotta have a bigger ice in there. So we're gonna spend a click and 1 credit to install another ice on HQ. Now, when you install ice to a server, you already have an ice. If you want to layer ice, for each layer of ice, it costs you a credit to just install card face down. However, if you want to go to free ice, it costs you 2 credits, and then if you want to go to 4 ice, it's like 3 credits, and so on and so on. And that's just to install them, that's not to res them. However, we drew a really good upgrade card. Upgrade cards are interesting because they help whatever assets and what's we call it agendas are in the server. And this is a defensive upgrade. It helps protect our servers even further than the ice does. Meaning, if your runner approaches the server while this upgrade is rezzed, they have to spend 2 clicks or pay 5 or the run ends. Well, that's really good. So we're going to install this upgrade into server 1. And then we're going to install an agenda there. I'm going to install send a message. I kind of want to install Off-World Office because Off-World Office can make me money back if I manage to score it. So, if he and honestly, I get value if he steals send the message, so I'm fine. So I'm gonna install Off-World Office to the server where I sold the upgrade. The upgrade should keep him out because Skunkworks is kind of strong. Goes. Docklands Pass. First time you breach HQ, access 1 additional card. Brand's a 6 strength barrier. So Cleaver needs to be pumped twice, so that's 6 strength just to get Cleaver up to the strength required to interact with Bran, and Bran has 3 subroutines, so it would cost 2 more credits to break after that. So it's gonna cost 9 to break this. However, Overclock gives 5 hosted credits, so it's really going to cost Moto 4 to break this. But rezzing for 6 doesn't seem worth. And honestly, I kind of want him to steal send the message, even if it puts him ahead, because it allows me to resolve send the message effect when this agenda is scored. So you may res 1 install piece of ice ignoring all costs. That lets me res Brand for free. So yes, it'll give Moto a points advantage, but I think I run the risk. That's my most expensive piece of ice. The Arcation to draw 4 cards. So you usually use these kinds of use this card or the other one that's for money last click generally, because you lose a click to play it, unless it's your last click. So, I think I want to draw 1 card. I think I'm at this point for Awkward, so I'm just gonna go advance to try and bait a run on the server, make him run into Skunkworks. Um, he has a code gate breaker, but this is 0 strength, 2 subroutines. Um, and they're doing overclock, so I think I let them in. Oh, overclock. I forgot overclock is so broken. That's the thing that's annoying about the starter deck, so I'm not used to dealing with overclock. It's not something you see a lot in constructed. We're trying to work out an issue where there was like a weird JNet issue. This doesn't come up. This interaction doesn't come up a lot because Overclock doesn't see playing constructed decks that often. Just because there's butter stuff you can run. Well, I would have to. Yeah, we were able to fix it. Yeah, I was just never winning that game. I just wasn't able to score very efficiently. The corpse starter deck kind of is not is well the thing it's the sake for the sake of a demo game it's good, but like it's kind of favored for the runner to win the starter deck games because the corpse deck just does not have the tools to protect servers that efficiently in the starter. You're lacking a lot of good ice because a lot of this ice is just shit and cannot stand up to stuff like Cleaver and Overclock. Which Overclock is, yeah, believe it or not, Overclock actually doesn't even see play, despite how strong it looks. Just because there's infection tools in later sets that, in like in System Update and in Borealis that are just stronger. Um, but we were able to repair the game state, so it's fine. There was probably like a misclick that happened at some point. I don't know. Probably on my end. But nah, I think we're good. I think SJ mostly got it because your brother was because Moto because your brother was kind of explaining to SJ what was going on better than I could because I was also trying to think out my turns as best as I could, and that's probably why I was misplaying a ton. I wasn't making the best plays because I was also trying to explain how the game works from a corp perspective. So so that's it for the demo game. I kind of showed up the stream kind of late, so that's all we really have time for today. I don't feel like playing another game until tomorrow. So, my plan is I'm gonna push Pizza Tower back to Sunday, and we'll be back playing this again tomorrow, and we'll play an actual game, and I'll explain how deck building works to SJ and stuff like that before we start, and we'll play an actual game with actual decks next time. So. So yeah, kind of a quick one today. But I just wanted to explain how the world worked SJ since I kind of showed up late anyway. So, thank y'all for watching. We'll be back to do more of this tomorrow. Um, I will be back tomorrow. See you then. Take care, everyone.